Så, tagning 1. Take 1 of this session now. I have done this in Prezi. I haven't scripted it yet, and the end part is not really this added value part, which I thought about. If you have comments on what should be in there. And the solution is also rather dirty right now. I have to think about that. But we do a start now. So the thought is that running this live with, I don't know if you can time it before, but I think I like this tool. So if you have something better, let me know. It looks like I have moved around the picture a little bit. We will see how it happens. I press present now and we start the timer. And my understanding is that we have 4 hours. So 4 minutes. The idea is that this should be up when we enter the stage, so they can look at it. And what you see here is famous paintings, and I have moved this. It looks like now, but this one and also this is moved. It's a little bit chaos now. This is from Sweden. This is from Denmark. One of the most famous paintings in the world. This is Oslo, also one of the most famous in Oslo. And this is selected the best painting in Finland. It's an angel. So now I start 4 minutes from now. See how far we can go. Yeah. So welcome to myMuseum 216. What happened was that the team you can see on stage is Hardek here, Tore, and me. And Hardek here is studying from India, studying at KTH. Tore is working with a museum exhibition, and it's me. I'm doing some consultant stuff. We went to a museum, and at the museum we got a challenge. Give cultural heritage new life through new connections, solutions, or art forms. So we asked Tore, how is it today at museums? And Tore started explaining, and you walk into the museum, you look at the painting, you look at the next painting, and if you're lucky you can find a name. Who is there? That's all. So then we start thinking about maybe we have to change this way, that you move in as a visitor, you move out as a visitor, and what happened? The museum don't know who was in there, and the visitor didn't get any feedback from the museum with his earlier wish and experience. And we can see the same problem when you are moving inside the museum. You go to a painting, and why can't you connect to other things? It's so static, it's linear. And the same problem we have after the visits. What should happen? The museum don't know who I was, and so on and so on. So we started to go look into this. And maybe we could start to relate to the user. And today, 2016, it's not a big problem to find the social friends. You have Facebook. If they like, the like button. And what do they like about the painting? Now we're getting some problems or challenges. So instead of saying, what do you like about the painting? We try to rephrase it. What do we know about the painting? So we start looking into paintings. And if you look into a painting like this, famous from Sweden, you have a creator, you have a year, you have who it depicts, you have that she is also a painter, she is a wife, it's a style, and so on and so on. You have this painting, you have this Kruger, it's Skagen, and so on. So you have a lot of information about the painting. So this is Edvard Munch, and so on. So what if this data about the painting was machine readable and we could use it? So we looked around and we found Wikidata. And Wikidata is a solution connected to Wikipedia, and it has 25 million objects, 30,000 paintings, and the query language. So if we move into a painting. If you take this painting up here and do a query, we get 100 paintings of this creator. If we start looking into this painting and do a query, we get those blue dots. The mark here is where we are today. This area is up here. This river is this area, and the painting can be found inside Helsingfors. So using Wikidata, we can add value to the end user. By combining Wikidata with the end user's preferences, we have enormous potential to give a related experience to the user. The business potential is museums in the Nordic and organizations like Visiting Sweden. So, the proactive museum experience, you are no longer just a visitor. myMuseum. 4 minutes 11 seconds. Phew. I upload this as a video, and then I take the original script and load it up into to the calc, and this will be version 0.2. So it's 32 slides, and what you do here, what the cool people, they are zooming in, zooming out, and so on. So what you can do is that you move to different parts, and then you can have transitions and so on. Like that. And I think I had some mistake. I start moving now to paint this. This one should be here, I think, and that one should be there, and this one should be up there. So, but I think the end must be much better, and maybe it's too long. Maybe it should be just 3 slides. My thought was to make a story that reflected what we have done. So here is, I think I followed this. Present us with skills and background, explain the challenge, how is it today, the challenge, adding structured data. And here I didn't spend many seconds. I said just Wikidata. The solution, maybe we could do a paint here, I think. Here we have the new blog. Then I have maybe we should have some mobile phones or something. But the draft architecture right now is that we have the client, that's the mobile watch, and the mobile phone, smartwatch, thin client, like a notepad or something like that. In the future, you also can have a beacon speaking with this one. So that means that you go to a painting, you get a connection from this one, and this app sends it down to the controller, the myMuseum app. The myMuseum app then understand what object it is. That object is connected to a QID down in Wikidata. If the user like it, it will be stored in myMuseum. If the user like it, it will be stored in his preferences in this database. This database here, when I've been out visiting museums, I get the feeling that we lack some kind of information. I think we haven't started understanding the scope of this. Do we need to have times it's open? How do you administrate things like this? Or is it just okay to say go to this place and then we hope it's open or closed? Google has solved that by they have their own database and so on. My understanding is nothing like that available in Wikidata. And here I did a start with that you have a client here, and then you log in, you go to this controller here, and then that goes to the get the user profile back, check what museums that are next to me, and also check do a search in Wikidata and return museum suggestions. And then maybe ask for more museum information, then you check what kind of museum information you have. Then you have tourists displayed the most popular paintings, or maybe you can combine it with the user preference somehow and so on. So to do a solution, we need to start thinking in, this is for me, user stories, that you say a user log in and get what museums are available, and then this needs to be systemized, and you have to decide how the data structure and so on is. A good thing I found at Europeana, there's 7 keys unlocking digital heritage for use in education, and I think it's also relevant for us, that what you see has some relevance. It's easy to discover that you have information about the thing, object, so you can continue working, and then quality and so on. So what I did, I started looking into Wikidata, what kind of objects. One of the best objects is Mona Lisa, and then we can see that they have described this painting, that it's a sky, it's a body of water, it's a bridge somewhere in the background, right, somewhere, it's an armrest and so on. They have also significance event about this, when it was stolen and so on. And this is the Rosén painting that we have in Stockholm, and it's his wife, how she look, what direction she look and so on, and she's also a painter, so that's really interesting. The cool thing is that this painting, that painting, and the other painting, they have related that they all three were part of this Europeana. And here we have Kreuer. And what I didn't explain or show is that, for example, if you look into, it's his wife, this is 3-4 years before they separated. And some people think that how they touch each other is a symbol that they are not so connected as they should. So then we could do a search on Maria Kreuer, and I think this is where you can find paintings with her in. And if we do a timeline, yeah, so this is, here is a timeline with paintings with her in. And I think that would be cool, but 4 minutes is crazy short time. Here is pictures with both them in, here and there. And here, if you would like, they are all part of this movement, Skagen Painter. So if I click there, you can see where in Nordic or in the world you can find those painter who are part of this. So it's Kreuer, Christian Krog, Viggo Johansen, Kreuer also, and now we are down in LA on the County Museum. Maybe we should show something like that. What I liked about the example I did is that it's related to the place we are. So I did, I think, over here is that I did a search. They're saying for this painting, the wooden angel, please give back the coordinates where it is, and also where the things in the painting, where it depict. Here I say, for the painting, return everything that's part of it. And what we can find then is that we find, the painting is done up here on this location, and down here is the water you see below. So I think it's a cool relation to the area we are, but 4 minutes is crazy short time. And here is all the paintings that are available now with him, and then you can also see where we can find them. They are mostly in Helsinki then. Yeah, but this was version 01 or 1, 02 I call it. So please comment, and maybe I do a new version to it tomorrow.